complete, absolute, just as you are. Individualized into the physical world to have experience. At some level of that spiritual being, you have agreed to take on this personality for whatever reasons, and who cares what they are. You have agreed to be here, to be an experience, to have Spirit move through you, as you, and is you. And the way in which you allow yourself to evolve and move in your consciousness is determining how your life is going to play out. And so, don't make it complicated. It's quite simple. The universe always says, yes. Let's try this again. The universe always says, yes. So if you walk out and you say, my life is miserable, the universe says, yes. And not only that, but let me show you how miserable it can be. In Scripture it says that those who have little, even that shall be taken away from them if they don't have the faith and knowing that they have the power and the presence within them. My title for today's talk was something like, does your faith equal the demands that you have placed upon it? Think about that. If you are a co-creator of your life, if you are responsible for your experience, and if you are placing demands on it, that you want to be something greater, you want to have some perfect relationship, you want to be abundant and prosperous, you want to have a healthy body, you want to be, this extraordinary person, and then you step out in your faith and you go, oh, but I'm not worthy enough. I don't have the power and the will. I don't have whatever it is. I'm in lack and limitation. You put these demands. You have put these demands upon your life. And then you back off. You back away. You hide out in fear and lack and limitation. And you moan and you groan and you complain. And you wonder why life is so miserable. And so you go out seeking evidence. So you step out into the world and you want to point at the world. It's them. It's the economy. It's the political party that's, running this now or running that then. Or it's somebody else. If only my neighbors would change, my life would be perfect. It all begins in here. You're the one. You're responsible for it. You have to change your thinking. There is nothing wrong in the world. The world is perfect. And if we would leave it alone, it would take care of itself in a magnificent way. But we keep getting involved into it. We keep moving into the world. Not only into the world, but we keep moving into each and every other person's life. Let me tell you what I think you should be doing. Let me explain to you why your life is not working. Let me tell you, and we get into everybody else's business, mostly because we don't want to identify what's going on within our own. Isn't it so much easier to step back and observe everybody else and go, but let's not look at me. Let's not look at me. Now see, I say this because of my experience in working with some of the most extreme cases of this. For 20 years, I ran group homes for abused children in the foster care system. And our level of care was like one of the most highest levels of care. We were at that point, because there's a whole level system that you go through, that there's locked facilities, and then there's all of the rest of the levels. And we were at that level where you were either one step away from entering into a locked facility, or you were just coming back out. So we had some of the most extreme cases: emotional, physical, sexual, psychological, mental abuse. Children who were 10 and 12 years old and had more experiences than the average person. And one of their biggest defenses was to always point the finger at somebody else. Because they had already learned at the age of 10 that if you could get those people that were in authority or in charge or running the show or whatever it was, if you could get them to focus on somebody else or something else, then they wouldn't notice what you were doing. And in that kind of a situation that they were growing up with, this was survival. You did not want to be the one in which people were paying attention to. You wanted to be the wallflower. You wanted to be the one that became invisible. You wanted to be the one that nobody ever noticed. But it did not keep them from moving into the avenue by which sooner or later they became the target. It was inevitable. So one of our responsibilities or our task or our job at hand was to help them understand that they were not the ones that was causing the situation. That by whatever means and method, and truly we don't know, if we knew we would have eradicated it. But we don't know why people are born into the life in which they are born, into the family in which they are born, into the country in which they are born, into the situation and the conditions in which they are born. There's lots of theories as to why they got there, and the truth of the matter is, in my mind, it doesn't make any difference why you were there, why you are here. You are here, you are awake, you now know who you are. All of you in this room today know who you are. It is why you are here. And you are looking to move to the next level of consciousness. You are looking to move to another level of awareness. You are looking to have that experience of more joy, more abundance, more prosperity, more health in your life. And it is unlimited. You could be the richest person in this room, and there is yet more for you to do. You could be the most healthy person in this room, and there is more health for you to have. You could be the wisest person in this room, and there is more wisdom to gain. Because this thing called life is unlimited. The potential that has already been established by that divine presence, if it was not eternal, infinite, and unlimited, it would have worn itself out by now. Think about that. Could you imagine a God that says, okay, so I'm going to create this universe and this world, and 6 days of work, I got to take, the rest of my life off. I can't be doing anything more about this. You all go out there and just figure it out on your own. That's not the God I know. The God that I know is forever, eternal, infinite, evolving, and creating, and it needs a personality by which it can enter into the world and do more of that, and it has selected you. You are the one. You have been placed here by that divine presence in order to express and experience that infinite, eternal, magnificent life. It's yours. All of the Scripture says this. Every faith, every tradition, every mystic teacher says